Now it's going.
Oh no.
Would you operate cameras all the time?
Hi, Scott.
It's our audience.
Shoot yourself.
Okay. It was really a normal day like any other. Furthest thing from my mind was that it was going to be the day my life changed. The day I found out I was going to be a father. Hello, my name is Chris Beck. And up until just about a month ago, I thought I couldn't have kids. Not many new dads will be able to tell you that they have less than a 5% chance of conceiving naturally. But every new dad-to-be will tell you, when you get that news, it turns your world upside down, and you realize life will never be the same. I'm sharing this story today because the path to get to this point was riddled with frustration, difficulty, and disappointment. This experience has not only changed my outlook on my life and my future, but has also lifted a heavy burden off of my shoulders. I am sharing my story in hopes that it may inspire others who may be experiencing infertility problems to not give up and not lose hope. Hindsight is always 20/20, but unfortunately we can't change the past. All we can do is learn from it and prepare for the future. When the word pregnant showed up on a little plastic stick on a Friday night in March, I was able to let go of the past and look toward the future, and realize that part of being a good father was going to mean changing my life in ways I hadn't even imagined. In this speech, I'll share with you my story, the history that got me to this point, the emotions and hopes that sprung from this small miracle, and the realizations I've had in a few weeks since I learned I was going to become a dad. My story starts back in my 20s, when I started working out with a group of bodybuilders. I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be big, strong, and popular. So I asked them what I needed to do to be like them, and they said steroids. So I started taking them. It worked really good, and it felt awesome as I got bigger, stronger, more popular, more attention. But I wasn't thinking about long-term effects on my body. In my 30s, I married my first wife, Carrie, bought a house, and decided that we wanted to start having kids. Well, we tried for a year and had no luck. We saw doctors, and I was diagnosed with extremely low sperm count, basically because of steroid use. I was given less than a 5% chance of conceiving naturally. So we took medication, and I tried for another year, but still no luck. Trying to get pregnant put a lot of stress on our marriage. She blamed me, and she had every right. Months and months of failed attempts caused a lot of anger, frustration, and fighting all the time. It was at that point that we realized we no longer wanted to start a family, and parted ways and got divorced. After getting divorced, I met someone new, Stephanie. It was nice to be in a relationship that was new. No pressure, no anxiety. I had hope for the future. Things progressed, and eventually we moved in together. Then the next thought was about marriage and family. I was scared of history repeating itself. Already had been divorced once due to infertility and didn't want it to happen again. I wanted answers about my problem so we would know what to expect before getting married. So we went and saw Dr. Samuel, a local fertility clinic, and started me on medication again. At first, the signs weren't that good. My count was still low, but there was slight improvement and signs of some progress. We were hoping that maybe we could do in vitro someday. Thinking it would take a while, we decided to get a puppy. Puppy would bring joy into our family, and also would be good practice towards eventually having a baby. Then, in early March, we went to our regular checkup appointment, and suddenly something incredible had happened. My count jumped from 9 million to 90 million. The doctor couldn't explain it. We were in shock. We were basically given the green light to start trying to have kids on our own. But, wait. Stephanie thought, with this great news, she might already be pregnant. That would explain some of the weird symptoms she had been having. So she decided to buy a pregnancy test. I laughed it off and said, there's no way it could happen this fast. But sure enough, the stick said pregnant. I was in shock. Thought it was a joke or broken. Said, let's wait a few days and take it again. Sure enough, a few days later, the second test said the same thing. She was pregnant. For me, finding out, that was like holding a winning lottery ticket. The numbers were all there, but I couldn't believe it. To following week, we went to her doctor. He confirmed she was pregnant. We got to hear the baby's heartbeat and see the baby for the first time in the ultrasound, which was incredible. Made me feel a lot different about things. I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I no longer had to worry about whether I could have kids. I was excited about starting a family finally. After having tried for so long, I never thought it would happen so quickly or so easily. But I also knew that becoming a dad was going to be a huge responsibility. I was very nervous. Was I ready for this? When the realization set in that I was going to be a dad, my worldview shifted. It wasn't just about me anymore. It was about my baby, my family. I knew my priorities would change, and I'd have to make sacrifices. First thing I want to do is finish my degree. Getting a bachelor's degree will make my child proud and also give me some job security in the future. I'd also have to change some of my priorities. Looking at maybe spending less time in the gym, less softball, less going out. We also had to start focusing on building a nursery and getting all our finances straight, and as we all know, babies are not cheap. I realized that this is the most life-changing experience I have, and I want to be the best dad I can be. I am no longer the center of my world. This baby is, and I'm going to do everything in my power to give it the best life possible. In conclusion, finding out that I'm going to be a father in only 6 short months has brought both closure to issues that have plagued my marriage and have given me hope for the future Steffi and I have together with our new son or daughter. I know that I made mistakes in the past that contributed to my fertility issues and also my divorce. I was scared that in entering a new relationship, the same issues would undermine my happiness. But we took steps to work through them together, and this journey into parenthood has only strengthened our relationship. Finding out we were pregnant was the best thing to happen to me. I am so grateful to be having a baby. While I can't change what happened in the past, I can focus on making this child's future as bright as possible. Maybe years from now, I will be able to share this speech with my child, and he or she will be able to learn the story of how he or she came into this world and how important experience it was to our family. Thank you so much for listening to my story today. If anyone in the audience is dealing with fertility issues of their own, have hope and know that when it comes to love, anything is possible. I also want to thank Stephanie for making all this happen. And there's one thing I need to do. I no longer want you to be called my girlfriend. I want you to be called my fiance. Will you marry me?
Yeah?
The end.